What is up, guys, and welcome to the AOR Christmas Cup. This is a tournament that is created by AOR, the guys who I used to league race with way back when, and also in my Oceanic leagues, but I am now part of the European division, but this is just like, a casual, fun little thing that we happen to be doing at this time of year. But anyway, here we are for the second round. This is the British Grand Prix. We'll be racing around in a Red Bull RB6, which you might have just seen on screen briefly. This car should hopefully be a little bit more forgiving than the car that we drove in the first round, the McLaren MP4-4 around Suzuka. That thing was an absolute beast of a car. Check that video out if you haven't seen it already. It was, honestly, I didn't think that an F1 car in this game could be so unforgiving, but that has proven to be the case. But regardless, we now move on to the second round here, where we're starting from third place on the grid for the British Grand Prix. Unfortunately, didn't do any practice. I was hoping to do practice in qualifying, but silly me realized that there is no qualifying because it is a reverse grid of what happened last time around. But thankfully, to my surprise, we had a glitch start, and that meant that the lobby has to be restarted. So as soon as I saw people taking off from the formation lap and I wasn't going, I realized that the lobby had to be restarted. So I swiftly exited that lobby and I chucked myself in a time trial to just get like a single lap, just so I could get a feel of the car and go from there. So that's what I'm doing in this one singular lap of qualifying or time trial, getting used to the car while the lobby gets reset up. So let's have a little flying lap, shall we? I know that this car is very capable in the corners. It's quite slow in a straight line from my experience. So I feel like if it's going to be a dry session, we might go for lower downforce. But if it's raining, like I think it will be, because it was raining in the previous session, I think they'll put it to heavy rain, just like it was before. So I think it will be heavy rain. So if that's the case, I'm just going to stick with the standard setup down the middle, 6-6 everything. So, yeah, that'll probably be the plan. As we come through the final corner to set our only lap, it is a 1 minute 30.376. And that put me 949th in the world. And with that one lap's practice, it was time to join the actual lobby, where we'll be starting from P3 on the grid. So I thought I was going to start from pole, but it turns out the people who DNF'd in the last race actually get priority, and they start ahead of me. There was 2 people who DNF'd, so they are on the front row of the grid, and it is the same conditions we had first time around. So heavy rain to light rain, and because it is full wet tyres only and just dry tyres, it means that there's no intermediate tyre, and that should mean that regardless of how intense the rain might be, it'll probably mean this rain, this strategy today will be a no-stop. So it's all going to be down to us to win the race just on raw pace and consistency if we can. We've got a lot of fast drivers in this lobby. Like I said in the last race, we've got F1 Esports guys, Jano Opmeer, and who else? We have Nicholas Longe, and they'll be charging their way through the field. We've got Veloce Hypers, who's very fast. Triton Lemon, who's right in front of us. He's pretty quick too. I don't believe that Fabrizio Donoso is joining us today, so we might have a chance of getting a podium if we're lucky, but this is going to be damn near difficult to win this race, even with the track position that we have. 5 red lights, and away we go for the British Grand Prix. It looks like an electrifying start as we completely leave the guys on the front row for dead. We lead this race quite clearly as we head into turn 1. One of my better starts, I've got to say. I don't know what the front 2 guys were doing, but I'll take it. Looking further afield, you can see we're on board with Jano Opmeer, who has a big tank slapper running into the back of another Red Bull, so that's really unfortunate for him at the start of the Grand Prix. Yeah, the grids are reversed from the results of last race. That's why I'm starting towards the front, because we didn't have a good race last time around. But Jano has managed to find his way back onto the tarmac, and now he is making quick work of those back markers into P14 now, and he'll be on a solid charge for us, I would say, even with his front wing damage. Jano is one of the fastest guys in the world. Like, he's pretty close to winning the Drivers' Championship in F1 Esports. So I still wouldn't rule this guy out, especially in conditions like this where it's all about feel and confidence. And Jarno, especially with his affinity for the game, and also like his experience from real life racing he's also done, is a guy that you certainly can't rule out as he moves his way up into P12. Meanwhile, at the front for us, it's been a clean start at the stage, just building my pace. I don't want to go too crazy. I definitely don't want to push too hard too early like I did in Japan. I know that I've got track position, so there's no need for me to overstep the marks just yet. I understand that the guys behind me are all going to be tussling a little bit, like you can see with Jarno right now. So I can afford myself a little bit of time to get used to this car. Yes, it is a little bit more forgiving than the MP4-4, but by that token still, we also need to be careful in the lower gears when planting down the traction. Through the final corner is an area where you can lose the back end quite easily, and then in the first sector, as you plant the power leading onto the Wellington Straight, is also an area where you can easily get caught out. But anyway, amazing recovery for Jarno Opmeer already just on the first lap. He went for P17, having damage, already inside the top 10, well inside the top 10. I think he's like P8 now, whereas we still where we were basically at the start of the race. You can see live shots of both myself and Jarno. Huge thanks to Jarno as well for sending me his footage today. I really do appreciate it, because without it, this video would be very boring. Me at the front, not really doing all too much. So we can follow on board with Jarno and see what he's up to in his quest to win this race. But yeah, we're stretching out the gap to Julian. He seems to be struggling just a little bit in these conditions. The gap is already 2.8 seconds as we negotiate our first flying lap of the Grand Prix. This will be a good indication of what our pace is like. I'll be keen to see if anyone else sets a faster lap than me. I would expect so. Maybe the guy 3rd, 4th or 5th who's maybe got a bit of clear air. We come across the line and do a 1 minute 45.2, which was pretty handy. We now follow on board with Jarno. He's gone purple to the first sector. What does it mean for him as he crosses the line? We did a 45.2. He is 8 tenths away, but he is in heavy traffic, to be fair. But we cut on board just a few corners later, and he's already on the back of Beaker here. Someone has gone off on the infield, promotes him up into P5, and now Jarno will bag himself a top 4 so early on in the Grand Prix. A lot of people getting caught out by the conditions, the car, very easy to do, and this is it just shows like how the cream always rises to the top, even in a reverse grid race. Even with damage, the faster guys will always make their way through the field. It's quite incredible to see how much progress Jarno has made already. I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know he had damage. I didn't know anything. I was just driving blind, and I was kind of anticipating someone, didn't know who, to roll up onto the back of me and just steamroll me in the, I don't know, final half of the race or something. But my job so far is just to pull away and build as big of a gap as I can to give myself the best chance of winning this race. But yeah, you can see Jarno pops in a fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1 minute 44.2 or 44.4. Either way, it's a low 44. And you can see me still struggling with the traction at this stage. This was an area of the track where I was really struggling. And that's, yeah, one of the biggest places where I was losing time versus Jarno, is that confidence, that feel with the loud pedal. For me, I had a different mentality to probably those around me. I was really just looking to survive and not really make mistakes. I was just trying to be consistent more than anything else. As you can see, Jarno going for a move here on VSR Muller. He had a really bad run out of Maggots Beckett's, and put him under considerable pressure. Jarno having a little look there up the inside, even though Muller goes defensive. But it looks like he's going to get the better run here. Muller's got a bit of a compromised exit. He leaves the inside open, and Jarno Opmeer doesn't need a second invitation. He is now on the podium with 6 laps left to go in this British Grand Prix. But those guys are running out of time. For them, the gap is very large. Even from me to Julian, it's a good 6, 7, 8 seconds. And then from Julian to Jarno, that's a further 5 or 6 seconds in itself, I think. Need to check up on that, as is out of this race, down to 15 runners. But yeah, the track is getting drier. It's of course going from heavy rain to light rain, so the track is really starting to ramp up now, and as such, it's pretty much happy hour now with the amount of fastest laps and personal bests that are rolling in at this stage. Jarno is starting to make some heavy inroads on Julian up ahead for P2, but Veloce Hypers is currently the fastest guy on track at this stage. I don't believe he's got any front wing damage, so that is definitely attributing to his pace at this stage, and he's going to look to put Jarno under pressure in these dying 4 laps of the Grand Prix. You can see Hypers close enough. He's in dive bomb range, but Julian is in close proximity, so probably not a wise move for Veloce Hypers to go for just as Julian, who was in P2, actually lags back and gifts both Jarno Opmeer and Veloce Hypers a spot on the podium. So that was very unfortunate to have that chance taken away from Julian to fight for P2. And it kind of makes my job maybe a little bit more difficult, a little bit more stressful. But the gap is quite large at this point. It's still 7-ish seconds from myself to Jarno Opmeer. I don't think he'll be able to catch me. I don't think he's 4 seconds a lot faster. Yes, he is a lot faster than me, but I don't think by that much. But we'll just look to keep it together and bring it home for what would be my first ever European AOR win. I don't know if it counts. I don't think it would count. But I have also won races in King of the Rain tournaments, which was pretty much this tournament just in rain all the time. It was held over Christmas. But yeah, that's the only thing I've won in AOR Europe. Hopefully we'll change that in the future. But anyway, bringing it home now. Last lap of the Grand Prix, we briefly set a fastest lap of the race, but then Jarno and Hypers completely smashed it. But yeah, I can't believe I was able to get out the lead that I did and was able to hold on in the end. It is a victory in the Christmas Cup. Regardless, it is a victory nonetheless, and I can say that once in my life I beat an F1 esports driver. So there we go. P1, 7 seconds to Jarno, Veloce Hypers in P3, and by all matters, that has got to be a Christmas miracle, if ever I have seen one. But there we go, guys. That has been this video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed. See, I didn't even have a front wing. Jarno had damage, but I had no front wing, so, you know, make of that what you will. Hashtag easy slaps. I don't know. It was funny actually reading all the comments of the first round, where I had a bad day. It was a really bad day. Much poorer than normal. Some people, one person in particular, was saying, "Oh, you know, Ben, you're good at career mode and stuff, but I really don't think you're cut out for this online league racing stuff." Really? Look at me now, mother trucker. I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. The next round of this, I think, is on the 27th, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't know the track and car combo at this stage. I think it might be Italy. I don't know the car, but I'll be enjoying a few days off in the meantime. I'll still have a video going out over Christmas. It'll be F1 Race Stars, plus a little challenge video here or there, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time. Oh, check out Jarno's stuff in the description. I'll put it down there. Awesome guy. Thanks to him for lending me his footage. Goodbye.